Have you ever wondered or asked yourself, what's my purpose in life? Over 6 immersive days at Date with Destiny, Tony Robbins can help you find that answer, providing you tools to reshape your destiny and design the life of your dreams. Date with Destiny is Tony's favorite event, and it's the one you might have seen in that Netflix documentary, I Am Not Your Guru. Here's what happens, though, over those 6 days. You start out by gaining a deep understanding of what truly motivates you. Then you identify the triggers that create pain and pleasure in your life, and learn the strategies to eliminate pain for good. Finally, you'll learn how to ignite or reignite your passion to achieve your ultimate vision of your life, career, finances, health, and relationships. As Tony says, it is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. This is your chance to make the ultimate breakthrough and to start living the life you desire and deserve. To learn more about Date with Destiny, visit www.tonyrobbins.com/destiny. Take a moment and think about your childhood, your relationship with your parents. Whose love did you crave most, your mother's or your father's? And in order to get their love, what kind of person did you have to become? Who did you feel like you had to be for that person to love you? For instance, in order to get your father's approval and love, did you feel like you had to succeed at everything you did? Be the strongest, the fastest, the smartest? When you answer this question, you not only understand, in part, how your identity is shaped, you'll start to see just why you do the things you do. You'll learn why you are the way you are now. The patterns you fall into, the standards you hold for yourself will all start to make sense. Because underneath all of this live 6 fundamental human needs that you are constantly striving to meet. Welcome back to the Real Breakthrough series on the Tony Robbins podcast. I'm Anna York, editorial director of Robbins Research International. In this episode, we're taking you back to Date with Destiny, where Tony is helping Akila overcome the subconscious boundaries that are holding her back from the life that she desires. Tony begins by asking her the critical question: whose love did you crave most as a child? Because every single one of us has developed a model of the world based on the source of love we craved most growing up. This is what influences the way we think and the way we act. This is what impacts the way we filter information. And this is what forms the entire way in which we experience the world. Tony shows us that we all create certain rule structures to support our needs. And he shows us that by uncovering our top 2 needs, we can begin to gain more perspective on our lives. Because when we're able to take a more objective, enlightened look at ourselves, we're able to find the way to break through and break free from whatever is holding us back.
So where am I? Accept myself.
Yes.
That is the ultimate thing.
How would you know if you had accepted yourself?
I think that it's really on the inside of me. A lot what's going on is on the inside, because on the outside, I look like I'm happy. I look like, it's all good.
Yeah.
I just want...
Convincing us all, aren't you?
I would know when I think that I'll just be doing everything that I desire to do without having to worry about what someone else is thinking about. I mean, I'll probably be making better progress, moving quicker, making things happen that I desire to happen quicker.
What's preventing that from happening now?
The belief of what everyone has, not everyone, but what my mom and dad has.
Now we're into the real piece. So you just set me up where I wanted to go. I'm perfect for you. So there's a question I want to ask her, and you, the rest of you, should not, under any circumstances, when I'm talking to someone else and asking them questions, you should not be asking yourself that question. Please, try not to think of the color blue. Don't think of the color blue. Whatever you do, don't think of the color blue. What's the color you think you have? Good. Question: whose love did you crave most growing up, your mother or your father? I'm sure you love them both, but whose love did you crave more?
I think I craved my mom's love more.
Yes, clearly. Question: who did you have to be for your mom? First gut reaction, don't think, just tell me. You had to be...
Perfect.
Perfect. So kind of hard to accept yourself when the standard is perfect. By the way, perfection is the lowest standard a person can have. Why? because it's a false standard. It doesn't exist. Whenever you get to what you thought perfect is, you'll discover something else, won't you? So when your standard is perfect, what it really is just a way to beat yourself up for not being enough, and it becomes a pattern. And many of you have been with me before, and you know there are 6 human what? And if you've not, I'm telling you, there are 6 human needs. And we've spent a lot of time at the UPW walking through those. They're not desires. Everyone has different desires, different goals. We have certain needs. When we meet those needs, we feel fulfilled. When we think those needs are being threatened, we kind of freak out. And let's remind ourselves what those needs are. Need number 1 is the need for certainty. We all have a need for certainty. Certainty that we can survive. Certainty we can avoid pain and ideally have some what? Pleasure or comfort. So it's certainty we can be comfortable. And it's a survival instinct because if you're not certain that you can be comfortable, if there's constant pain equals damage, constant damage eventually equals death. So certainty is kind of a survival instinct, and we all have it. And the only difference in people is not whether you have these 6 needs. We all have the same 6 needs. What you're going to see in the next few days in yourself and in others is how the order of those 6 is controlling your whole destiny. So if certainty is the most important thing to you in life, you put it the highest of the 6. Another one, by the way, not in order, is love. If I have to have certainty more than love, then it's hard for me to really let love flow unless I'm certain. And for things to be certain, it has to stay the same, and life is never the same. It's always what? Do relationships change, yes or no? Do the people we're in relationships change, yes or no? And we get pissed about that, like, you changed. I hope so. If you don't change, if you don't grow, you what? So think about it. So certainty. Some people get certainty, they make it number 1. People's certainty is number 6. It'll completely change your life, what order they're in. Second difference besides the order is we all have a different map, a different model of the world, a different rule book on what it takes to be certain. Some people, to be certain, everything has to go a certain way or they freak out. Some people, to be certain, you have to arrive at the time you said. Now, some people don't value certainty so much, they value variety. So a certainty person will often be upset if someone's like a minute late because they think late is 5 minutes before the time. Some people's rules, their map is, variety's more important, and I was involved with something that's cool and I'm coming and I'm on time when I get there. Would this create a conflict between people, yes or no? They're valuing one need more than another and they have different rules. Whenever you're upset with someone, you're not upset with them, you're upset with their rules. Whenever you're upset with yourself, you're upset that you're not meeting your own rules, and many of us have rules that are